This is year one recap, okay? Year one recap. What I'm going to talk about is my journey with LW Automotive so far, okay? So my first year was hell out the mud, okay? It was hell out the mud. So a few things, if you watch my channel or you stumble across it, you'll notice is my videos have changed, but my logo has changed and kind of everything has changed, okay? So I went through a hell of a lot, okay? When I first started, my Goose, my car was not operable. I had no whip. I was taking small jobs out of the back of a Volkswagen, and I came across Sarge. Okay, Sarge was the first truck I worked on in the videos, but there was a customer that sold it to me. Okay, and I ended up picking it up. Okay, and it became the work truck. So I'm actually doing better now. So as you can see, my hat, my shirts, my merch all changed. You notice I had an LW Automotive shirt that was the red logo, okay? And I switched up to a more simple logo, something that is a lot more professional and not so messy, okay? My business cards, okay? I'm in this transition right now where my business cards are still transitioning. I haven't got those yet, okay? But things are in this weird year one transition I wanted to talk about, okay? One thing I wanted to talk about was the hardships that I went through, okay? I had a failed launch, which was the Luigi Mobile Brake. It was a failed launch, okay? And why did it fail? It failed because I didn't put enough investment into it, and it wasn't time yet. So that's coming. The Luigi Mobile Brake thing, that's about to pop, but not until probably year 3 or year 4 once I have a shop, okay? I may be getting into a nice size garage so that I'm working from home, but I'm also working on the go. I like having mobile because there's no overhead charges for shop, electricity, all that. So I like doing mobile, but I'm going to be shifting to a shop soon, okay? So here's something I can recommend to people, okay? Hardships I went through. I had 4 different mechanics. This is the 5th one now that have showed up, that are drifters, that have showed up to this city and have tried to push me down the list, and they end up bottoming out on their own ads, and they dip because there's no work, okay? And why do they do that? Because if you post too many ads up on Craigslist, people think that you are full of shit, okay? Like you're that desperate for a job that you're pushing people down the list. I already know you're not getting any work. This is the 4th out of 5th mechanic that has done witchcraft over my posts, over my ads, dude, that has casted certain spells over my business or cursed my business or done something to it, okay? And so I noticed that this is the last, I think this might be one of the last ones that comes through and does this, because every single time, right after they do it, that's when they leave. Okay, so something dramatically hits them financially and they have to go. This is like 5 times now, dude. 4 times of people doing spell work and witchcraft and all this crap, and it's there. If you were to see my posts in this town, you'd go, okay, yeah, they're operating off of some sort of something in the dark that they're operating off of. But other people have told me about it too. Other people that live here that have customers have gone, hey, look at your ad, and you'll see this little thing, or you'll hear this little thing, and you'll go, oh, okay, this dude's trying to talk crap about you. This last guy basically casted something over it, saying he's going to beat me up. So I went through the drifter mechanic. I went through 5 of them that pushed me down the list, and they pushed me all the way down, and I put one up top, and all the way down, and one up top. So I was spending $5 an ad, and they were spending about 10 to 15 an ad, or 10 to 15 total, to push me down. $50 sometimes to push me down, and I just put one up there, and it was like, okay. I changed my marketing strategies where I opened up my Facebook and I put up a Google business profile, and that was probably the best thing I ever did. One thing that was not smart about it was that I had myself up there on accident as an auto repair shop, and somebody towed their car to me after it broke down here, and they didn't even call me. They just towed it to me, and I was like, whoopsie, like, you got to tow it over there. So it worked out because I helped him actually track down the car, because it got towed to like some random place. So I just sent him pictures and all that. So I learned LW Automotive Mobile Mechanic, and I'm under car repair and maintenance. Okay, so I'm under, people can find me. Okay, if I kept myself up there as an auto shop, that probably would have been one of the smarter things to do. I'm still debating doing that because that really wasn't a bad thing to do, because people will Google you. So I may still do that, but I see that kind of like, I don't want to take a cheap shot at shops here. Once I have a shop going, then I'll put myself up there. I'm like, yeah, you know, I run this. But as a mobile guy, I found that there was a line of respect, especially for the dude that's up the street named Laduz. Good, decent dude. A lot, you know, everybody seems to have, well, I mean, people have problems with everybody. But Laduz seems like a straight shooter, and so does AJ's Auto. Both of those two, and Rocket. All these shops here, I got respect for them, okay? And so I don't want to go stomping on, you know, their grounds, saying I'm an auto repair shop when I'm doing mobile, even though it says mobile mechanic across my name. I'll mark it different ways. And it was mainly my respect for my fellow mechanics here, okay? So what I also went through, okay, I went through bottoming out. And bottoming out was one of the hardest things I went through in year one. And the reason was because I was bottoming out on jobs where I was taking jobs for super cheap, but I was using all of it for tools, okay? I had to go buy tools. And before I got here, I had a lot of tools that got taken from me, and I had a lot of money that was owed to me. And I had people that screwed me over, and I hit rock bottom, okay? And when I hit rock bottom, I had to bottom out on things that were like brake cleaner, bro. Like I had the brake special going, and I was doing it so cheap, it was $100 for front, $100 for rear. Now I'm $120. Like the guy, I did rear shoes today, and like a front grease job, and I charged $220 for it. And it was, well, the drums were extremely difficult. It was a Toyota Camry, so they're not that hard, but you have to adjust the e-brake in the dash and do all this stuff. So I charged him $220 for it, and he paid. And honestly, it turned out good, okay? But I charged like nothing my first year. My rates were so low, and I went the extra mile for people. And I realized that there's only a few people from year one that are still rocking with me in year two, okay? I mean, only a handful. Out of all those jobs you saw, only a handful. So what I faced with bottoming out was like, I had a phone bill, like I got insurance going, like I had to DoorDash for a lot of my stuff. So there's stuff like bolt extractors and screw extractor sets that I have that I paid straight for I just went out and DoorDash and bought it. All my screwdrivers, all my sockets, everything, dude. A lot of what I funded my business off of was freaking DoorDash, bro. Like I DoorDashed for a lot of my stuff, and I'm not talking about like my cheap stuff. My cheap stuff like Pittsburgh, yeah, I started out taking all my job money and throwing it in that. But I was in such a drought through year one. Like it seemed like year one was like, it was just hit, and it was kind of miss for a little bit, and hit and miss and hit and miss. And I was just getting some jobs. Sometimes I did jobs where I was like, like the Toyota Nightmare. I got screwed on the last day, but I should have charged a hell of a lot more to diagnose that truck. Because I mean, I ran through it after like 8 mechanics touched it, and they had like ran the fuse box half power. It was a nightmare. So a lot of my year one was getting the necessary supplies. Get a quote from, you know, this dude was doing it for, had to have been like $50 for like, I mean, crap jobs, dude. Like he's probably just trying to get beer money. And I mean, he undercut me. And what I saw too was there was a lot of people that came to me in year two after the drought. So what got me out of the drought was I decided, I was like, I'm gonna go back up there, because I was running food around, and I was taking care of my car and my chick's car, and I was like, I gotta get the Jeep set, because I had a hell of a lot of problems with the Jeep that I had to fix. One of them was tire alignment, okay? So I had tire alignment issues, and what you can see is like my wheels now, okay? My wheels now are not my original wheels that are on there. I went and bought a $100 set and threw them on because I was wearing tires. And it was the upper ball joints, and it was all the suspension. I mean, I had to rebuild the entire front end because I was like, I'm going to throw a tire because there's belt on all of them. So tires, bro, that set me back mad. I mean, there was times where I went and grabbed tires online from Walmart and took them into Walmart to have them put them on, and they refused to do it because it wasn't 225 by 75 by R16. It was 245. And they're like, well, we do stock recommendation. And it's like, it has 245s on it, 31s that are all-terrains, and they still wouldn't do it. So I went through the tire battle for weeks, dude, with no job. So I was DoorDashing to try and get fucking tires, because I was like, there's no point in me throwing up there, you know, if I get a job, I'm rolling on belts, and we're not playing that shit. Year one was so stressful, bro. I had people who sabotaged me through Yelp. A dude from Silverton that was not far from here, that he was watching me through a camera. And the problem with Yelp is people can write a comment on there, write a review, and then you can write a comment to reply, and they can go and change their entire comment, but you can't change your reply. So he was dissing on my ministry books. He was dissing on my books and all this. And when I said something about it in there, he completely changed his post to make me sound like I was insane, like I'm crazy, like I'm talking about this, and he never brought it up. And it's like, Yelp will allow you to edit what the customer reviews, but they won't let you edit the response that you are giving to them. So if they change the response, you can't change your comment, which is fucked up. And the reason I was so fucking mad about that entire thing was it looked bad. Because if you Google LW Automotive Salem, it shows up as one of the first things. Yelp, 1 star. If you look up my Google profile, 5 stars. So I got fucked over by Yelp, and I got fucked over by some asshole in Silverton that was mad that I wasn't going to go jump his mom's car, but I was literally 2 blocks away about to jump it, and I saw the comment and went, fuck you, I'm done. Why would I go jump your car and do all this if you just left me this shitty review on Yelp that's carried through and he refuses to take it down? So I had people that were on Facebook that I'd put up an ad, and he's like, I had one guy that was like, you abandoned me, and you owe me an axle and this and that in my truck, and you put upper control arms in it. And I'm like, okay, and he's like, you didn't seat the axle in there right. Well, last time I checked, a Chevy Colorado, if you're doing an upper A-arm, you don't have to remove an axle. His diff was going out anyway, it blew out, and he was mad I wouldn't go back and fix it for him. And why? Because that was right at the middle to 3/4 mark through year 1, where I was like slammed. I was slammed with the brake special, and he fell through my list, and I didn't get back to him. And it's like, well, I've got people that need my help. So your diff's going out, and your diff's going out. I serviced your rear one and serviced your front one, but I told you your spider gears are starting to go out. You need to go get a diff. And I got to move. I've got 2 days to move. And he's running around. It's like, dude, you need to go get a diff. Go to the yard and pull spider gears, or order them online, and I'll slide by. Do you want me to magically fabricate fucking spider gears out of fucking gravel, or try and weld something together? Like, are you high as fuck? I don't understand what your problem is. Okay, so I had issues with shitty customers year 1. Okay, year 1 I had really good people too, but they just never followed up with me. But I cut a lot of people from my lineup too. So I cut people from LW Automotive for certain reasons. And year 1, I think I had maybe like a handful of people roll over to year 2. Okay, what else did I notice? Okay, if you're doing your mobile mechanic business, or you're doing a trade business, you don't need an above and beyond logo. You don't need something like, I noticed my first logo, I wasn't happy with it. Okay, it was the OG, the LW Auto OG logo, and the OG cards and the OG shirt. But this is where it's supposed to be at. Okay, so I had to evolve. So I had to eat shit, I had to bottom out, and I had to evolve. So I had to, I'm not going to say I'm like in the best spot now, but it's like, well, I'm doing a hell of a lot better than I was like a couple weeks ago. Last week, I was busy every day. I had a job every day. And I'm not charging what I was. I'm not charging $40 for diagnostics. I'm charging $60 for diagnostics, but I'm up to $100 an hour right now. That's how I am. That's how I saw it. So for me, it was like, well, I was charging too little. So for me charging now, it's like, okay, I still throw in freebies, of course. Like if you need plugs done, and I'm doing your brakes, and you need, or if I still throw in freebies. So if you need your oil changed and I'm doing your brakes, yeah, I'll pop your plug for you, take your filter out for free. It's not really a big deal. Just buy oil and filter. I don't give a shit about that. Okay. It was things that I was doing that it was way too much. So for me, I had to bottom out a lot of shit. The other thing that I will tell you is I didn't have certain things, okay? Like my toolbox, my Craftsman 5 drawer, it's in the shop. It's in my shop now, my little mini shop. It's in my little mini shop right now, okay? And the reason why I have it there is that's all my specialty tool storage. I'm talking about harmonic balancer sockets, the thick walls, everything down to grease guns and this and that. Anything that's specialty that I don't need every day is sitting in there, okay? I went through hell, bro. Like year 1, I went through hell. There was head gaskets that I charged $400 for, and people would probably gasp and go, "What the fuck?" And it's like, they were 4 cylinders, yes. And it's like I took 2 days because I had to work over a head, at least resurface a head and do all that and all the prep work with the valves and that. But it was like, well, I had to do what I had to do, and that person can't afford that, and they'd rather just get rid of the car. It's like, well, I'll fix your car. So it goes through. It's like, okay, so I worked for cheap, like really cheap, okay? And I did that to try and build a customer base, and I realized that wasn't a very good idea, okay? After year one, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't a good idea to work for too cheap because my customer base didn't really hold. Maybe it will after 4 years or something like that, but it didn't really hold, okay? So I'm looking at it, I'm going, okay, if I could change things, the couple things I'd change is don't work for cheap right out the gate and try and get a customer base like that. You charge fair rates and you do what you're going to do, but seek to evolve more than sit stagnant. So don't sit on a plateau, but sometimes it takes time to evolve. So for me, it took me time to evolve, okay? So with a lot of my stuff too, what else did I learn from year one? Well, I learned that there's certain people that will snake you out of money with diagnostics. And honestly, there was only a few people that didn't pay me. And one was the Nightmare Toyota job. The last day, he gave me a fucking fake ass money order that wouldn't cash. And he took the money order and was like, see you later. And I'm like, oh, okay, so you just gonna dip now. It's like, okay. So I cut him from the lineup. So I cut people out that people were expecting freebies out of me and really cheap rates and riding my ass instead of giving me more work and spreading my name. And I had more negative experiences than I did positive ones with that. So that's why I put my rates up to where they should be, and I evolved as best as I could. And a lot of my evolution happened during my drought. So during my drought, that's when I started blueprinting, and I was like, oh yeah, well this logo ain't gonna do. Well, what's up with this logo? Like I got sick of the logo or something. Like it just looked, I don't know. I started getting shirts together and hats together and this and that. And I'm like, I gotta evolve, bro. Like there was something about it that it was just like, it was almost like I shed a skin on LW Automotive that it's almost like I shed a skin on LW Automotive that I can't really explain. It was like, year one, when year one was done, the majority of my tools were invested into. I'm talking about even specialty tools like 3.6 timing tools, okay? So, I mean, I invested into a lot. I mean, a lot of freaking tools, bro. Tools, chemicals, this, that, grease guns. Like, I went in like all in. All my money from year one went straight to tools, bro. But I was also trying to fix this truck, too. And now it's like, well, I got my sights set on a van. It's like, well, will I still run Sarge? Absolutely. Like, the rig is perfect for what I'm doing. Like, it's perfect for what I'm doing. I really haven't had an issue, okay? It's mainly what I had to focus on too was like, I need to make sure I have a head gasket set and head bolts and transmission filters, anything I could use for this, because I already knew, like this thing's pushing 260K. Like I already knew that I'm gonna have to do a transmission filter after the certain time, 35 to 40K after I did the last one. I already knew this motor's got a lot of mileage on it, and it's a 4-liter, sure, it runs forever, Flintstone, but it's one of those that's like, I already knew I was going to have a head gasket. I still have the head gasket and the bolts, all of it, the push rods, all of it, sitting aside. So when I get a drought before winter, I can do up the head gasket so I don't have it blown to shit on me while I'm out in front of somebody's house. Like what happened to me with my upper radiator hose, because that wasn't very cool. So I went through a lot. Year one was fucking terrible. I got dragged through the mud. I had people treat me like shit. I had people stand me up and tell me, how about $80 for the starter? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm digging it up out of there. Like, what the hell is the matter with you? And I'm showing up. Like, what's the matter with you? If I had no other jobs for the day scheduled and somebody asked me for an $80 starter, I might do it. If it was quick, like an hour to two to get it out and replaced. This one was like a while. Like, I gotta dig this thing up out of there, exhaust in the way, everything's in the way. I'm not even playing, okay? So when year two started and my drought hit, that's when I started really investing into 3 Cats in Chip City. And I did a lot of my editing in my books. I did a lot of editing with footprints. I did a lot of editing with that type of stuff. If you ain't really heard of my books, I mean, you probably check out my podcast channel and you'd understand it. But I'll put a link in the comment to 3 Cats and the rest of it. It's all Amazon, okay? So I took time to really figure out the the ministry and the book side of things, where I was like, you put God first out here, you know what I mean? Like, he'll help you out. So it's like, well, that's kind of how it is. So I found that it was easier for me. Like, God would provide for me as long as I put him first. Okay. And that was one thing that people could say is I never fucked anybody over for any money. Year one, or even with LW Automotive, I've never taken money and ran. I've never taken half up front, never showed up. Everything that I did, I got paid for. All the money that touched my hand was for works that was achieved. I never even took half up front for head gaskets. Where some people might say, you a damn fool for that. And it's like, well, maybe a little bit. But I'm telling you, things were difficult to a point where year two, not really, bro. Like, I ended up doing Facebook ads. I started pushing a TikTok. I started pushing Craigslist. I started pushing a whole bunch of these Google business profile. I started pushing all this. And I started paying for ads on Facebook, and things came through for me where I was like, oh, okay. I did put Facebook Marketplace up for a mobile mechanic and threw my ad up there, and I had it up for about a month, maybe 2 months, and I got a lot of business off of that, but they flagged me because it's against their policy to offer services as a for sale item. So I kind of glitched the system for a little bit, but it worked for me. I can't do it now. Well, they won't let me have it, bro. So it's like, that was really, that helped me out a lot, because that was when I had a full week full, and I ended up meeting people that were, towns away, that I was working on tractors, and I was doing all this, and I was making good money, and I even cut them deals too. And what do you know? Now I have a customer. So a lot of it was like, well, the Facebook thing, what actually happened was, I think that my Facebook ad on Marketplace, it wasn't an ad, it was a posting, got flagged by the other mechanic that's here because he saw that I was taking a bunch of jobs, which is stupid because there's like 8 different people that have mechanic ads up in this area, and it's like, yeah, they're going to report you and try and slide their way through, and it's like, well, maybe somebody saw I stepped on their turf and did it that way. I don't know. What I can tell you is I switched over to a page and started running ads that way through a page, and it seemed to work out a bit better for me, where Marketplace was easier for me. But one thing I did get a lot of was, is this available? Hi, is this still available? The same thing as you would sell something is the same way people would treat you with mechanic work, where they'd go through this whole spiel about their car, a price, and they'd nail down a date, but they never give you an address, and you never heard from them again. Something weird about Facebook about that. So I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna run ads, bro. There ain't no point, responding to people. Like, if you're serious, you just hit me up. So I did it that way, and I transitioned away from Facebook messages and Messenger and moved more towards the phone number. Okay, what I did with my ad, it wasn't some high drawn up, like, here's my work, here's my brake job, here's that. Nope, logo, mobile mechanic, Salem, Oregon, and boom, there's my phone number. I simplified it. Okay, so I simplified my marketing. So I changed the way I was doing ads. And people weren't willing to sit there and, oh, look at his brake job. Oh, look at his transmission replacement. Oh, look at this. Nobody gives a shit. What's your logo? What you selling? What's your number? And what's your service? And I pick you up like a phone book, dog. So I made it look like Facebook was kind of like a phone book for me. Where it was like, you see like a phone book and you're like, oh, there's LW Automotive in there. And you're flipping through it like you from the 1800s, you know what I mean? But it's like, well, think about like Facebook feeds are kind of like phone books when it comes to ads. So if somebody's, and the way algorithms and like phones work now, you're like, okay, so if someone starts talking about how their brakes need to be replaced and they can't afford going to the shop and this and that, what are the chances that Facebook algorithm is going to hear that and going to spit it out on their feed and go, yeah, this guy's offering this and that, and they take my number, $120, he'll show up and get it done. I don't have to take it in. I don't have to sit there and wait. Basically, look at how many people work from home, or they got kids and they got this. They don't have time to go to the shop. So yeah, they'll hit me up. Why? Because I just offered you something that was like, hello. Like I ran with 2 different marketing strategies. One was a basic phone book approach. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Next one, $120 brake job special. So I ran my special and I ran a generic ad like it was a phone book, and things changed for me. So don't go over this elaborate thing of, look at my screwdrivers. I bought these for $500. Or I bought these specialty hammers. I know what the hell I'm doing. You don't have to do that. You don't have to market your tools or your shop or your rig or anything. No. Logo, service, phone number, location. That's it. That's it. And things worked out for me. Season 2, sheesh, bro. I just got through the drought, so I'm trying to keep up right now. But my thing is, too, is a lot of people are hitting me up same day. So it's like 10 o'clock rolls around. Hey, I need rear brakes done on a Camry. And I'm like, oh, okay, see you later. And I just hop in the rig and I'm out of here. You know, I already have all the tools to do it. I don't have to be like, oh, I got to order this, or I got to order that, or I got to do this. You know, I've got everything. I grinded through year 1 to get that, bro. And I mean, I went like pounding pavement through the mud, bro. Like, it was not easy. So, you know, what am I going to do with Evolution now? Year 2. My marketing strategies, my logo, everything evolved. What's going to happen year 3? Probably a shop or at least a van, okay? The shop I got now ain't very big, okay? It's small. It's small. And it's not even considered a bay. It's small. It's basically storage at this point and somewhere to work. So for me, I'm mostly 99 to 100% mobile. I hardly bring anything back. Only thing I brought back is what? Transmission, input, you know, input pumps and shafts and this and that, and doing rebuilds or whatever, and take it back. Head rebuilds, valves and stuff like that. So my plan is year 2, evolve as much as I possibly can, maybe into another vehicle. But Sarge still does it for me. I don't really have any problems driving Sarge, bro. Like, that's why I was looking around, like, people got work vans and stuff. I'm like, well, what you doing? You doing head gaskets on site? Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So I looked at my rig and I was like, well, I can handle anything with this pretty much. I basically anything that is generally water pumps, okay? Oil pans. Head gaskets, I can still pull head gaskets with all tools I got in the back. I just take the head back to my place and resurface it, do all this. What I would prefer to have is my own way to have them pressure checked, or have them take them to the shop to have them pressure checked and tested and do all that. But for right now, this is how I've rolled. And it's been easier for me. And a lot of times I avoid head gaskets. I wouldn't if I had a full shop running where I could, you know, test things and make sure things aren't warped and this and that. But like timing belts, stuff like any of that stuff, I can do it here. Okay, I can replace a transmission with everything I have in my Jeep. I have transmission jacks. There's room for them. If I need it, it comes out of storage. I throw it in here and I'm there. Boom, it's out your truck and it's back in. No problem. No problem, dog. Get you squared. So is a vehicle in my Evolution? Maybe not yet. But year 2 seems to be kind of like that, where I'm like, well, maybe I'm going to buy myself a Christmas gift. The one thing I am leaning towards that I haven't gotten yet is magnets for the doors. Magnets and stickers. I almost wrapped my own car, and I looked at that and went, that is way too much time. I can't, like, sure, wrapping your own car and doing this and stickers and doing that and driving around as a billboard, great. But I don't have fucking time to do that. And I'm not that good at wrapping shit. So I'm not paying for it yet. So why would I wrap my WJ? Probably not yet, and I probably will. That'll be an evolution of things. But I looked at it and was like, okay, well, work van don't sound too bad. But what else is it? Well, living situation too. You know, it's like, well, you know, I don't really have the, you know, everything has to evolve. So if I sit stagnant like I am now and I take all my money and consume it and be dumb, it's like, well, what's going to happen? I'm not going to evolve. I'm going to be stuck in one damn spot doing the same damn thing for even longer than I want to. So choose to evolve and push forward rather than feed your face and sit still. Don't play that. But what I learned through year 1 was that at the end of it, I was like, once the drought hit, I was like, I have to evolve. Like, I can't keep doing this shit where I'm bouncing around. Like, I have to make sure I got a full schedule, because my schedule just started clearing out. And I was like, you know, getting random brake jobs and this and that. It's like, okay, great. You know what I mean? Like, I've got, you know, that's small money. You know what I mean? I got, because I'm cutting deals, it's small money. So once I started picking up on advertising and figuring that out, the other things people did tell me was do door hangers. And I was like, well, what I would do personally is if I was door dashing to go get tool money or that, I wouldn't mind putting door hangers out. But they were too expensive out the gate, where it was like Vistaprint, 500 units for like $100. And I was like, I'm just not willing to spend that right now. So maybe it was me being a little bit more stingy, but I was investing into all of it. So a lot of my stuff, you know, a lot of my stuff that I went through year 1 was like, I was kind of looking around like I was playing like quarterback in the pocket. You know what I mean? Like I was stepping back shotgun going, what the fuck going on? Because like every time I go in, I get some money under me. The next job that I get, I got to go buy some specialty tool to get it in, or I have to get something that I don't have, that I used to have, which was even more fucking frustrating, that I used to have. So it's like, I used to have this thing. If I, you know, and then you look back and just don't look back, buy it and stick it in your car. And it's like, okay. And it's like, well, today, and this is stupid too. Maybe people laugh about this, but so tomorrow I got a 5.0 Coyote motor oil pan. Okay. I think it's 2011 or something like that, 2012. And I could have easily done it with the tools that I have, but I went and bought a 21 millimeter swivel socket that's 1/2 inch just so I can make the job easier and so I can have it. And I already have swivel sockets. I just don't have the 21 millimeter. So I was like, well, I'll just throw down for it. And it's like, well, I got money on me, but I'll throw down for it. And it was like bottoming out like that taught me to stop giving a shit about it. Because the more you're invested in, the quicker your business is going to grow and the more you're going to evolve. So don't choose to, well, yeah, hang on to your money. Don't be throwing it, you know what I mean? But invest in your tools, invest in your chemicals, invest in your car, in your rig. So if I wouldn't have invested into Sarge, it would have been long gone, bro. I would have blown this thing to shit, bro. I would have blown a tire. I would have blown something. I mean, this whole truck is rebuilt. 260K, and I'm basically driving a brand new WJ Jeep. So it's like, I'm going to put just shy of the rear wheel bearings, which I'm sure I'm going to have to do those soon. I'm dreading that because I don't like it, but I'll do it. So until next time, Lone Wolf, peace.